Okay, this is an evidence and prediction video that I'm making on this date. As you can see what today's date is as a result of me showing you this video picture of my cell phone. You can clearly see that it's November 9th, 2013 at 12:24 p.m. and my name is Leslie Williams. This video file is being made at this location where the dead tree is at. Okay, and what I mean by that is that on other video files that I've made at this location, I've walked over and showed you the dead tree. Now, I'm in San Diego County, San Diego, California. I'm a target victim and activist concerning the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking. And the reason why I'm making this particular video file is because I want to be able to illustrate to the public. I'm going to be making several different types of statements. First of all, every single time that I have prepared online, on the computer, whether it be SDSU's computer, USD's computer, UCSD's computer, or my own new laptop that I bought on May 29, 2013, every single time that I have written and prepared Word document letters, email letters to the letters that I basically started and got towards the middle of completing, every time that I have begun to type out letters using computers at the aforementioned places and or my own, events have transpired towards me, including at the places the letters were being typed at, like SDSU, UCSD, USD, Northern University San Diego Public Library, and the Law Library downtown. What am I talking about? I'm a target victim and activist concerning the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking. Gang stalking and organized stalking is a crime that's extremely hard to prove, but with me, I have undisputable, black and white, in your face, undisputable evidence that I am a target of this crime. As a result of having a huge amount of this undisputable proof, I decided to start probing lawyers concerning not just the organized stalking of me, but also the sexual harassment that I endured, at least on one occasion, by San Diego Sheriff's Department officers inside of the Hall of Justice. That's right. Now, as a result of, on numerous separate occasions and different calendar months, I was preparing to write letters to senators, lawyers, law firms, using the computers at the aforementioned places. And every single time I started and got in the middle of making these letters, in reference to started the letters, typed what I needed to type, came about towards the middle of basically, describing what's been happening to me, which brought me to about the middle of the letter, okay? Right when I got to about towards the middle of these letters, guess what happened? Events happened at these places in order to ban me. One place arrested me. That's right. These places where these letters were being written at were directly involved in the gang stalking of me. Cyber surveillance is a method of these crimes. Now, you can go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids to see that a targeted individual in Santa Cruz, California, which is a county that is right next door to San Diego County, is being covered on the news. He flat out states he is harassed everywhere he goes, including even at his own home. And a police officer by the name of Lieutenant Larry Richards is on the video, on the news broadcast, flat out stating that gang stalking has been going on forever, and that it's even reached out into the cyber world. Now, cyber surveillance, you can Google cyber surveillance and organized stalking and or gang stalking in order to see that the cyber surveillance of a targeted individual's cyber activity is monitored by the perpetrators, because they want to be able to ascertain what the targeted individual is doing online, so they can see if it can be used as a benefit to them or a threat to them, so they can make apropos decisions concerning what they observe that the target is doing. That's right. Now, coming at a targeted, homelessness is created of targeted individuals. If you've never heard of organized stalking and or gang stalking, and you do one day of your, as a result of you hearing it for the first time, and you start researching it, if you start researching it on the internet, you will see in your first days of research that creating homelessness of targeted individuals is one of their main objectives, because the homelessness is created to, the original motivation for it is to exploit the target and their finances, their property, and sexually, and insurance. But an added benefit to the perpetrators concerning how the homelessness is created by getting landlords on board, property owners on board, syndicated corrupt postal employees on board, mail theft and mail delayment, or postal employees that can be influenced by the syndicated members who have power positions above them, like postal supervisors, possible individuals in the government that have federal positions. Now just hear me out. Everything that I state in this video can be Googled and cross-referenced to gang stalking. That's right. And you will see, if you do a thorough, extensive research with an investigative, mature posture, you'll be able to see that what I'm stating to you are methods of these expeditions. Now, every single time that I have began to make preparations to approach lawyers by typing out in-depth described letters concerning why I would be approaching these lawyers and or law firms, things have happened towards me at my hiking areas and or at the universities where the gang stalking was occurring at, including at businesses, Ralph's Grocery Store for Friars and Frazee Road, at USD, SDSU, and now they're going after me at UCSD. That's right, the North University San Diego Public Library, the Law Library downtown, every business I go to, all my transportation services, I am cleverly, overtly harassed. Either in organized stalking and gang stalking expeditions, what they want you to do is, concerning the targeted individual, is they want the targeted individual to know that they're being stalked. And they do that by sensitizing the target to, but not limited to, specific words, phrases, physical gestures, sounds, even colors, even specific types of people or specific persons. Okay, just research what I'm stating and you will see that I'm telling you the truth. That's right, and I am not the only targeted individual in San Diego County. Marasha Han is another targeted individual in Encinitas, California, which is in San Diego County. Bonnie in Oceanside, YouTube her. Bonnie Oceanside gang stalking. Just YouTube her. Okay, she's experiencing color harassment and it's a sensitization method. They're anchoring specific colors for her to see everywhere she goes, and as a result it makes her feel stalked because it's purposely and intentionally put around her by red cars, people wearing red clothes, and then it appears that the certain Carlsbad police officers and Oceanside police officers are being deliberately and intentionally an extremely huge amount. See, what they basically do is get around the targeted individual and represent to the targeted individual what they've been sensitized to. That is their overt way to let them know they feel stalked. As a result, the target has a mental and emotional response every time they witness what they've been sensitized to. It's a clever way to make you feel stalked, but that's not the only thing that happens to a targeted individual. A homelessness is created for us to live in, okay, through the aforementioned tactics and employment descriptions, okay, landlords, property owners, post employees. Now, the purpose of this video is to explain to fellow American citizens, I'm on Social Security disability. Now, I can't really afford to hire a private investigator. I can't afford to, I don't know if any private investigator firms out here in California is seeing my video, or if maybe any concerned citizen who's watching this video can possibly forward it to a private investigative firm and forward all the information concerning what's happening to me, to them, and possibly they might be able to do some pro bono work. But I will tell you this. Right now in my possession I have over 700 separate audio files of gang stalk, gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalk, gang stalk, oh my god, being said in that way around me everywhere I go, every single day, non-stop, everywhere I go. That's not including the fact that I was assaulted on an MTS bus on October 10th, 2011. Now it's November 9th, 2013, so you might say, why is this woman still talking about this assault that occurred 2 years ago? Well, because the individual who assaulted me on that MTS bus had engaged in gang stalking that morning on the bus before the assault occurred, and on previous occasions on the same bus route. And I'm still being gang stalked along every single one of my routes, every single day, non-stop, Since the day I arrived in San Diego County on August 8, 2011, the assault occurred on October 10th, 2011, and I am still being gang stalked and have still been gang stalked along every single one of my route from the very day I arrived in San Diego County on August 8, 2011 up to this date, November 9th, 2013. Everywhere I go, including at this hiking area, which is the 4th hiking area I've been gang stalked to and harassed at. Now, I can't afford, basically what they do is target the vulnerable, the disabled, single women, single mothers, single fathers, the elderly, okay, and it's for multiple motivations. Multiple motivations are behind why targeted individuals are targeted, okay. Now, why won't the San Diego police make one police report concerning the fact that I am a target of this crime? Because when I was out here in 2006, between 1 and 38 days, I was gang stalked from the state I came from to San Diego in 2006, okay, and I was experiencing gang stalking along every single one of my routes in 2006. But I didn't know what was happening to me back then was gang stalking. But when I was out here in San Diego in 2006, I made specific email files from the Point Loma Library. And I was stating in some of these email files some of the things that had already happened to me in the state that I had come from, okay, and I was also stating some things that were happening to me in that current calendar time, you know, month when I was out here in 2006. Even stating that I was being harassed in specific described ways, including by Point Loma Library staff. And then the San Diego police pulled what is known as a street theater to approach me at a hiking area in 2006, and what they pulled is directly connected to gang stalking. As a result of what they pulled and how they acted and how they influenced me to go back to the state I had come from, I was sexually exploited, tortured, my insurance was bilked, robbed on a daily basis every single day from 2006 all the way up until August 8, 2011 when I came back to San Diego. And how did they know that I came back here? Since the San Diego police know that they were involved in a gang stalking street theater of me in 2006, since they are clearly aware that those emails from 2006 still exist in space and time, it'll prove the duration of this crime, and it will bring alive all the victimization that I have experienced. Sexual exploitation, torture, okay, stalking like you would not believe, extreme mental cruelty, psychological battering, psychological harassment, criminal intent to stalk, criminal intent to harass, assaults. Now, I've already mentioned in this video that there's a video online that you can go to by typing in "learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on an MTS bus." Look at the structure of that bus as you see before and after you see me being assaulted. The back door is on the wrong side of the bus. The rail that holds the mirror is on the wrong side of the bus, and the mirror is backwards periodically throughout the entire video. Also, in the video, it shows me sitting on me and the perpetrator who assaulted me sitting on the opposite side of the bus in reference to where we were actually sitting on the bus on the day of the assault. They altered the video, and why did they do that? They did it out of haste, because of what the person who assaulted me was doing 5 minutes before the assault. Once they altered the video, they then turned around and said, well, we got to also take away from how he was harassing me 5 minutes before the assault, so then they only sent me a video that was 2 minutes long. That's right, because I had already attempted to make police reports through the San Diego Police Department Eastern Division Police Station, whatever you want to call it, when I was assaulted on August 17th, 2011 at a bus stop. That bus stop being exactly 1/2 block away from where the incident occurred between me and the San Diego police in 2006. I can't afford a private investigator. And when you go to a law firm or a well, let me get back to the MTS assault video for a second. Also, there's individuals that are on that video. That video does not show actual people that were actually on the bus that day of the assault concerning the individuals that were sitting in the front of the bus. In other words, there are certain people that are on that bus that were not on the bus in the video, that were not on the bus that day. And some of the people that were on the bus are not in the video. So that tells me that not only the back section of the bus was altered by MTS, but the front was as well. That's right. And what happened to the sound of the bus? And why did they only allow 2 minutes of the video? My name is Leslie Williams. On September 29, 2011, I made an email at USD stating in that email, as a result, of me preparing to go to Barbara Boxer's office. She's a senator in California. I made an email prediction stating, as a result of me preparing to go to Barbara Boxer's office, that there would be a great likelihood I'd be assaulted, either walking, riding my bike, or on public transportation. And 11 days later, I was brutally assaulted on an MTS bus. And that assault also occurred within 36 hours after I left the San Diego District Attorney's office and told them that I was a gang stalking target, a human trafficking target, and that there was a great likelihood that, as a result of being this gang stalking target, that the San Diego police and that the fire department, I was inquiring for them to investigate if the San Diego police and fire department do engage in gang stalking. And that happened on a Friday, October 7th, and I was assaulted on the following Monday morning, October 10th. On the bus. Now, if MTS does not have a problem sending me a video of me being assaulted, but they alter it, that shows that they had concern and reason to alter the video. Why would they do that? My name is Leslie Williams. I can't get no help because whenever a person wants to go to a law firm or a private investigator's firm or in order to approach a lawyer, this is not the kind of crime that you can explain is happening to you in 5 minutes. Because of the methods and tactics and maneuvers, the places that have been used, the people that are involved, the people that are more than likely perpetrating these crimes, the people that protect them. This is not the kind of crime that you can sit down and explain to a lawyer in a 5-minute discussion. Okay? It's not. Okay? So what I did, in order to be able to show lawyers that I have a legitimate, that he has got a great case, let me tell you something. I feel a little tongue-tied in this video, and I apologize for that. But the point I'm trying to make is this, is that when you're approaching a lawyer, lawyers make their livelihoods in the very justice system that these criminals are perpetrating their crimes from, because it's organized crime in the system that's actually perpetrating these criminalities. So when you approach a lawyer who makes his livelihood in the very system these criminal whores are perpetrating the crimes from, you got to be able to persuade that lawyer that you got a good case, which means that he needs to be detailed. He needs to be given a detailed explanation about what's happening to you so he can pick apart and find the penal codes that show that laws are being broken. The only way that that can be done is, for one, the lawyer be available to physically talk to the target, and for two, if he's not, when the target goes to the law firm, they got to at least be able to leave a letter, okay, to the secretary, so the secretary could forward the letter to the lawyer, and then communications can be set up between the lawyer and the target for further conferencing. I can't even get no letters completed, because every time I begin to do one, they pull something along my routes. To either have me arrested, banned from a place I'm using computers at to make these letters, or my hiking areas. And when they come after me at my hiking areas, that's done to keep me caught up in the busyness of having to move from place to place to place to place, which keeps me from being able to go to places to use computers, to upload current videos of evidence, and to complete the letters. And these are the schemes, the literal schemes of gang stalking. Hang on one second. Let me tell you about one guy's blog that I read online one time. He was divorcing his wife, and to be totally honest with you, I have always advocated for single fathers, and I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why. Because even though we all know that women have strong parental ties to their children because they're the ones who give birth, men are really screwed over in a lot of ways when it comes to divorce. They really are. They're not only hit with the financial cost and more than likely losing the custody of their children, but they're also lied about by wives who have vendettas and are bitter. And so, you know, I got two brothers, and when I hear about how men get screwed over in their divorces and their custody battles and how they're financially ruined, some of them even end up homeless because they can't afford to pay child custody and still pay rent. So I've always actually, to be totally honest with you, I've always actually had a pretty very big soft spot in my heart for single fathers and for what men go through when they divorce their wives, because of what they have to go through monetarily, what they lose, how they even lose their own children in reference to full-time custody. You know, because I'm a kind of person who's fair, but that's not what this video is about. But the point I'm trying to make is this, and I already forgot why I brought that up. Sorry, I'm having a whiteout. I have a learning disability, so just bear with me. But the point I'm trying to make is, oh no, that's right. I was talking about this guy. He was divorcing his wife, and he was trying to get at least part-time custody of his children. So what he was doing was he went and hired a lawyer, and then went and got all the legal papers that he had to get together to, I guess, to prove that he was a father. I guess other additional cooperating material that he was going to present to the judge concerning possibly her not being a very good mother. And he got all this information together and documentation together, and right before the court date for him to go to the judge and take all this information to him, she initiated gang stalking against him. They broke into his apartment and stole all the legal documentation, with the court date being 1 or 2 days later, which meant that he would have came to court totally unprepared, and as a result he would have lost custody, the part-time custody rights of his own children. These are the lengths of gang stalking. That was the reason why I brought it up. Sorry, I had one of those little whiteouts. So, I cannot get no help from, and that's not the only thing. Listen to this. Lawyers can also be part of gang stalking expeditions, because when a targeted individual because these perpetrators who are in the system will deliberately and intentionally even give targeted individuals evidence to make the target feel confident about filing a lawsuit. They then see where the target is looking up in reference to lawyers, and will approach the lawyer and say, look, we've already got this set up to where the target's going to lose the case because they got syndicated judges. So, you can do this for us, okay, and either not take the case or take the case, charge the hell out of the client, that's right, and then she's going to lose. You'll get the lawyer fees, which drains her money, and she walks away broke, while the lawyer ends up getting money and he splits it with them, okay, or he's just used to drain the targeted individual's pocketbook. That's right. These are the schemes of gang stalking. Now, if you don't believe me, go to Google and type in a gang stalking tech, everything you need to know. It's a manifesto of a manager of gang stalking crews. There are going to be things stated in that manifesto that are going to seem far-fetched, and they might even lead you to throw it away and just totally say this is craziness and I don't care about it. That's right. Whatever you seems peculiar or that you can't make sense of, or maybe you possibly don't believe, just ignore it. Set it aside. Do that thing for us targeted individuals and look at the rest about how it says it will bait the target to depend on the system. Basically, it's called mincing the meat, where they will bait the target into the actual system, the criminal justice system. That's right. It talks about syndicated judges, lawyers, doctors, police officers. So, how can us targeted individuals get any honest help concerning the factual realities of how we're being gang stalked and harassed along all of our routes, how our staged events happen to us to produce falsified police reports, incident reports, falsely petitioning a target into an area neighborhood hospital psychiatric floor, falsely petitioning them into county mental health. These two things, or those last two things, are done in order to start diagnosing the target criminally and with complete malice, forethought, and criminal intent, intentionally diagnosing them with falsified mental diagnoses that they do not have, in order to basically discredit the truth the target's telling by calling the target crazy. And the doctors are, it literally states it in the manifesto that diagnosing a target with schizophrenia is one of the main things they love to do. And the doctors are called the money bags in the manifesto, because that's where the insurance fraud comes into play at, which is attached to the original motivation of why the target was picked to begin with, in part. Okay? So, if anybody is seeing this video right now, I am hiking in the La Jolla community in California. I can't afford a private investigator, but I will say how I am being harassed along all my routes, and I will tell you where I'm going. I go to the Law Library, downtown San Diego. I go to UCSD at Club Med Cafe Restaurant and the UCSD Price Center. I do my shopping at La Jolla Villa Plaza Drive, Rouse, and the CVS across the street from it. I live in La Jolla. And the reason why I'm homeless is because my rent was stolen. Go to Google and type in property owners, landlords, post employees, mail theft, and mail delayment. These are the employment descriptions that are used to aid and abet and to achieve the homelessness. That's right. Just Google it and research it extensively, and you will see that what I'm telling you is the truth. Excuse me. So, I decided to make this video in order to inform you. And so, Now, the illustration that I described to you in this video about how they broke in that guy's apartment and stole all of his documentation that he was going to bring before the judge, okay? They not only do that, but after they create the homelessness of a target, they will gang stalk a target to a second apartment building, a third, a fourth, even a fifth and sixth. And when the target individual just says, screw this, I'll go and live in a motel room, they'll gang stalk them there. Google that. Google how they'll rent apartments adjacent to a target. Google it. So if they'll go through all this and then gang stalk a target everywhere they go, even using the business community, university community, for staged events, they'll stage the witnesses, ban the target from the business or university or public library. That's right. Getting around me, they get around me and constantly repeat, but not limited to, saying, gang stalk, gang stalk, gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalk, gang stalk, oh my God. In that way, or they'll lace these words within the conversations they're having around me. Sometimes they back off from doing that and go back to certain physical gestures that they constantly repeat around me. Pointing, putting the hands to the face, the mouth, like this. Fingers to the mouth, fingers to the side of their face, holding their cell phones with both fingers sitting right next to me on the bus. Pointing, going like this with their fingers. Okay, putting the finger by the crotch. You know what that's supposed to represent. This is their way to overtly let you know you're being stalked as a result of constantly hearing their harassment or seeing what they do. Their sensitization methods. That's right. Specific ways of coughing and clearing your throat. That's right. I make these videos to inform, to expose the truth. Now, I got over 700 audio files, separate audio files of individuals getting around me and saying, gang stalk, gang stalk, gang stalk, gang stalk, oh my God, gang stalk, oh my God. Crazy, weird, in that way, every day, everywhere I go. Every day. 700 separate audio files do not lie. Okay? Now, I can get no help from anybody. The police will make one police report, which is gross negligence of duty. The district attorney's office won't investigate the fact that MTS sent me an altered video of me being assaulted, even though they were notified before the 2-year time period came up in reference to that assault. October 10, 2013. The assault occurred on October 10, 2011. You're supposed to have 2 years to file a lawsuit. But they were notified about the corruption of that MTS video on multiple occasions through email and physical appearances by me in their office. So that 2-year time period does not, it doesn't apply anymore, because the obstruction of justice in reference to the alteration of materials of discovery, which is evidence, leaves that event wide open still to a still current lawsuit. But I can get a lawyer. Because when you go to a law firm and ask to talk to a lawyer, most of the time they're not even in the office. So my goal was to leave letters and develop ways to communicate with this lawyer, because they hack into your cell phone. Gang stalking, Google that. Gang stalking and cell phone hacking. Gang stalking and phone call rerouting. Email rerouting. Just do it and you'll see I'm telling you the truth. And this is how they keep the targeted individual isolated in the campaign, so the campaign can continue and so it can bear its original motivations. That's right. So if anybody in the community sees this, and they can possibly, through creative means, contact a private investigative firm, okay, and see it and brief them on what I'm experiencing, and maybe if they could possibly, through pro bono, find it in their hearts and within their means to investigate what's happening to me. I've already stated where I'm living at, and we're going to see how many times I get evicted from my hiking areas, because I'm setting up additional ones right now. They'll gang stalk me to those, because this is the 4th one I've been gang stalked at. I appreciate you listening. I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. I'm not mentally ill, and I'm not a threat to myself or others. I thank you for listening, and have a nice day.